And then something happens, a word, an action, a tone of voice, and bam, it happens. These experiences, these incidences that happened in our past, so these have been collected along the way, right? You have had experiences in the past where you have had tough things, bad things happen about all different topics, and all of these have gathered to be inside of you. So you're a walking container, a walking storage unit with different compartments, with different emotions in each one of those compartments. And so it gathers along the way. And so when we have an experience between us and another person, it does place or create an emotional pocket of energy inside of us. That is for sure. That happens. We also could have an experience with something else. Like, for example, my dad came home one day when I was a teenager and he said, "Hey, Kirk, I got a new horse." And I said, "How much did you spend on this horse, Dad?" And he says, $50. And I just shook my head. I was like, oh no. Dad brought home a $50 horse. Okay. It could have been 150, but my memory says 50 is $50 horse. I said, "Dad, what's wrong with the horse?" And he says, "Well, he's kind of wild, but we're going to tame him." And I said, "Wait a minute. You said we. What does that mean?" And he goes, "Well, I just need you to jump on him and just sit on him with the saddle. I want to see how he is with the saddle." And I'm thinking, $50? Whoever that guy was or girl who sold the horse, they're trying to get rid of this horse. And so my dad puts a saddle on the horse. Nothing happens. Then my dad says, "Kirk, get on." And so I got on. Within 5 seconds, I'm laying on the ground, right? I totally get bucked off. I'm like, "What, Dad? What are we doing here?" And I have an experience, right? So I have an experience, boom, about horses. Okay, fast forward a couple years, there's a different horse. And my dad says, "Hey, Kirk, jump on this horse. Let's go for a ride." So we're riding down this dirt road. I said, "Oh, wow, this is great, Dad. This is a nice little trip here." And he goes, "Hey, let's make these horses run fast." I was like, "Okay, is this safe?" And he goes, "Yeah, just kick it. Just kick your horse. Just kind of nudge it in the ribs and let's get him to run." So I did it. I nudged the horse in the ribs and oh boy, did it take off. And it started running full blast down this dirt road. My feet fall out of the stirrups. My stirrups were too long. My feet fall out of the stirrups and I start to slip off the saddle to the left side. And I kept slipping. I could not hold on. And I fell off the horse going full blast down a dirt road. And the first thing to hit the dirt road was my left hand. The second thing that hit the dirt road going full blast was the left side of my face. Just plowed into the dirt road and the rocks. And I went unconscious. The next thing I remember, I'm walking down a dirt road holding a rope. And I'm looking around, I'm going, what happened? I was on a horse. The last thing I remember, I was on a horse. And I remember slipping, but then everything was gone. And now I'm literally walking down the road holding a rope. And I'm like, what happened? I look behind me and there's a horse following me and I'm holding the lead rope. And I'm thinking to myself, what? And my face is all hot. And I reach up and I touch my face and there's blood all over my hand. And my dad yells to me, "Don't touch your face." And I was looking around, "Where are you, Dad?" And he's back behind me and he goes, "Don't touch your face." I'm like, "What happened?" He goes, "You fell off your horse." And I'm like, "Are you serious?" And immediately I thought to myself, that was stupid. I slipped out of the saddle. I hit my face. I'm bleeding. I got blood all over my shirt. I got blood on my hands. And in that moment, I felt stupid. I felt stupid. Just felt stupid that I fell off a horse. I said out loud, that was really stupid. And I felt that was stupid. That was a big one. Bottled up inside of me for years afterwards. Years. If anybody called me stupid, I would turn into a super, super upset man. If somebody says, well, that was stupid, a fire would ignite inside of me and I would just blast that person. Just bam. I would just blast them with energy and words that were very, very intense. And I would blast that person. And the person would look at me like, holy cow, what was that? I mean, I would feel like this rage inside me. And where'd it come from? This intense moment. I fell off and landed on my face and I'm bleeding and I'm feeling stupid. And I just was so mad inside. But I didn't let it go. I sucked it in. So what happens to us as people? It carries with us. Boom, boom, boom. It follows us. And so now we're walking around as people with triggers. And you have triggers. I have triggers. It comes from experiences. It comes from people moments. But here's the thing that is not cool. What's not cool is the person who touched the trigger gets blamed for the hurt that exists. This person gets blamed because this person was triggered. That's just so not correct. The person who touched the trigger gets blasted with all the built up and stirred up energy that was behind the trigger. And they get blasted, they get hurt, they get chewed out, they get yelled at. The person who touched the trigger has no idea what just happened. The person triggered now adds this experience to the pile of emotions and gets more volatile because now they're like mad at this person. And we got to help people. But first off, we got to do some work on ourselves, right? So the main reason I'm sharing this with you is so that you know you more than likely have triggers inside of you. But here's the thing is that when there's no triggering going on, what happens is it feels like this. It feels like there's nothing. It feels like there's nothing. Like, oh, I'm fine. How you doing, Kirk? I'm great. Totally fine. This is what it feels like. You're totally fine. You don't even sense it. Don't even know it's there. Don't even know. And then something happens. A word, an action, a tone of voice, and bam, it happens. You don't even know it's happening. Oh man, what do you do? Okay, well, here's the first thing you got to do. First thing, do not blame the other person. It's just like, what are you doing? If you blame the other person, you'll never figure out what's going on inside of you. You'll never figure it out. So to blame another person, you set yourself up for a delayed repair job. Okay, so you don't blame the person. Whoever triggered you, man, don't point anything at them. Don't throw your energy at them. Don't do it. So we don't do that. The next thing we don't do when we get triggered, the person who touched the trigger gets blasted. We don't blast them. We don't blame them. No blame, no blast. This is the steps to self-mastery, by the way. You have to stop this and stop this. And you might be in the middle of blaming. You might be in the middle of blasting and you go, oh man, I got triggered and I'm totally taking it out on you. Okay, hold on. I'm stopping. I'm stopping. You could catch it right in the middle. Okay, so then the next one right here, the person who touched the trigger has no idea what just happened. So what do you do here? Well, what you do here is you tell them, hey, guess what just happened? And they're like, what? And you're like, hey, I got to tell you. So this is a piece where you tell them, hey, I guess I have a trigger. And you don't say you triggered me. You say, hey, I have a trigger and I didn't realize it, but it totally brought up a ton of emotion. And oh, wow, I got to go simmer down for a second. So you tell the person, hey, whoa, something you just said totally got something wound up inside of me. Oh, wow. It's not you, it's me, but I think I need a moment. So you're calling it out and you're telling the person, hey, I think the reason why I just got upset with you is because I was triggered and I got to go handle this trigger. It's not you, it's me. I apologize for blasting you how much I did. I got to go. I got to turn around. I got to go do something about this. And so you are helping the person understand your behavior. Do you see how cool this is? How this shows self-mastery, self-control? I mean, a person who has self-control will follow what I'm showing you right now. They won't blame the person. They won't blast the person. They'll inform the person. They'll inform. Tell me if you agree with this. Do you agree that it'd be good to be responsible by clicking the raise the hand button? Click the raise the hand button and tell me that you agree that it's responsible to not blame, not blast, but to inform them, hey, whoa, oh, wow, I just got heated. I just got triggered. Something just happened here. In fact, okay, say again what you said. I'm really curious what you said because that was my trigger point, and I got to figure out what's behind this. If you catch this in the moment and you don't do this, but you talk about it, now you're able to discover what could else be behind this trigger. So this one right here, you do not add this as evidence that other people are jerks. No, you don't. Well, that doesn't deserve a star. That's an X. That's a no right there. So right here, you inform. You don't add this as like, oh, see, my spouse just doesn't understand me. It's like, no, you got triggered. No, it happened inside of you. You blasted them. All this was inside you. So this is taking responsibility of what's going on in this moment, because a majority of people are not going to do this. They're not going to do this. And so you can start to shut down this happening. Because if people continue to blast others, what's happening is we're passing on the pain. Why? Why are we passing on the pains? I have a theory. My theory is the devil sets this up. I'm just going to say it. I think the devil, this is part of the devil's design. He doesn't want people to talk about emotions. He doesn't want people to decipher or diffuse or disassemble triggers, because this is a way he can get people to hurt people. And now we're hurting each other as people. And it's like, why can't we live in a society where we're all nice? Oh, because people are emotionally packed and they're blowing up on people and they're hurting people. Why are we passing on pain to other people? It's like, we don't want that to come to us. Why are we doing it to others? The reason why people are doing it to others is because they're unaware. And if you're aware, you could be the one in your rings of influence. You could be the one to show and promote this, to have self-control instead of being out of control. Somebody's got to be the one to start the movement of paying attention to this, so we're not passing on the pain. We're not to pass on the pain. Like, don't. I mean, get on the side of, I'm not passing on the pain. I'm not going to blast people. And if I start to, I'm going to pull it back. I'm going to pull it back. But right now, people who get triggered and they do it, they're passing on the pain. And that's not good. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for a family. I mean, imagine if dad keeps getting triggered and dad gets triggered and he passes on the pain to mom. And then mom and dad pass it on to the kids. And then now the whole family's infected with this pain because dad, I'm just going to pick on dad because I'm a dad. Because dad is emotionally charged and every once in a while he just goes off the handle and he blows up at everybody. But dad doesn't realize it's him. He doesn't. Now that's my story. I didn't know it was me till I woke up and figured this out and was like, oh man, I got to quit passing my pain on to my sweetie pie and on to my kids. Because pain gets passed around. That's not the plan. Pain is to be mended and healed, not passed around. No, we don't pass around the poison. Stop passing around the poison. And we got to get in our side of ourselves and go, hey, I gotta change my ways. And the first place to do that is right here, is to catch yourself. That if you find yourself getting triggered and you're in this heated moment, just don't blame them. Go, wow, I got triggered. Whoa, I'm in a trigger right now. Second is don't blast them. Cut off the blasting. Cut it off. Stop that. Tell them. I mean, own it. Own the moment. Go, man, I just got triggered. I'm having a trigger right now. I should walk away or I'm going to blast somebody. So number one, the blame. Number two, the blast. Number three, talk through it with the person you're with. Own it.